Like the ladies and gentlemen of
Are you
in.
keeping count?
I just make up a number every time and hope that it's
okay.
right. You know, if I say it wrong, I just next anyway. So
There's 50 in the docket already.
90 episodes recorded, said.
That's right.
No,
Don't plan that far ahead.
I have things planned up to 9. Things planned past 20.
Planned.
Yeah, this was, but today, to record because football is back.
Football season.
As we talk stewardship, following out last time,
Which was a
follow up to another episode.
So you should link, rate, review.
This is
Yeah.
going to be our last steward. Maybe.
I don't know. There's more ways to
People give.
steward.
Depends on how
We're getting
yeah.
You can send cat.
Ball, and
That's
it's going
right.
to be
With paywalls, there's quality to them that makes the paywall. We that's
it's
like
you pre-paywall content becomes
it's like
after.
it's non-free
It's like
section.
in-app.
Of, yeah, like the freemium. The
App that has in-app purchases.
time you wanna.
Jeremy's
listen
not
to
up.
Guys,
Jeremy.
I'm so far behind the YouTube.
Oh,
I
that's
just-
sad.
Just
Old.
like an old person. I watched a history in Godzilla. Me.
Well, that sounds.
It was
Jeremy
really
just.
enlightening.
Jeremy just.
I loved it. Faith loved it. Yeah, she really enjoyed
hadn't
it.
seen it.
Well, I went in not expecting way, and I said, okay. So
Jeremy likes the.
movies. I love Godzilla movies.
Tornado. He's all
Like,
about.
Heard you talk about a shark movie.
You can.
Do you like Jaws?
Yeah, Faith watch it. We
No.
watched some other ones.
Corrected.
Yeah.
Sick corrected.
About me.
I
I
just
don't-
never heard you talk.
watching Jaws.
Same
in
here,
one
but
time.
I'm a movie
definitely
guy.
seen.
I like. So
That's why
and,
Jeremy. That's
like,
that's the hill he's gonna die. on. Like
they're
shark
entertaining
movies.
for what like Godzilla movies. Like they're just
You like that one?
it was rated R.
Yeah.
So I shit like this year, and I'm like, wow.
Sharknado
that's
versus
bad.
Sharknado 2.
Yeah. Which one?
One. I haven't seen past two though. Do I like?
How many of the- how many
Wait,
of
you
they-
actually watch them?
I watched Sharknado.
First one. I've seen some of it.
The reproduction I've ever.
Count though. It's like that they're trying.
You can make bad B movies, and Godzilla movies, half of them are just like crazy, and some
They kind of come up with a different character.
video like seriously basically made movies for like 10 years and then make more movie animations of the character.
Oh.
Interesting,
Makes
actually.
sense.
Talk about watching. We talk about watching. Immense
Use of your time.
with this.
Man, we made that connection.
Amounts of football. As football comes on, because I'll be watching. Not so much with college. Watch almost any game. College football, I'll generally any Big Ten game. If it has,
works in your
if it that is interesting, Wisconsin or
So-
yeah. Well, I'll
Yeah, but they're not.
Bad.
So surprises Rachel because she's like, "Why are you in San Francisco? Play the
We
new."
haven't started this week. But yeah.
But I do.
We've had that conversation.
That's from Pittsburgh, and so well, even though we're not all Pittsburgh,
One who stayed loyal.
You're talking about being a Browns fan.
he was
joke.
rooting.
Oh,
for
you
the
mean your
Browns.
wife?
My wife is a Browns Cleveland, so we are how. I was doing that Bible pool for work last week to survive to win on Monday night. I was
Well, you
rooting
did.
for the. Plus, I mean,
Safe bet.
I was like, the
With
Browns are
Sam-
interested to watch them. Like that's
Dang, it is
Yeah.
exciting for Cleveland.
So we're talking stewardship in the last episode as we talk about spending time football and everything. In the last episode, recognizing of something is not you. Then
and
you
are the
and
manager.
it is your job to resource the way that the and kind of talking about be a good steward of, especially when you try having a wife. It looks different. Think it's different. Steward your time as a single.
I mean, as a single, you just do whatever I wanted. I didn't think much about it. It's like I can do that thing, and I still have time. No one else is vying for my time. But I also was younger, so I had the need to do really a lot on the couch at 8:00. Like I'll be out by like
I'm out.
I can't do it. Yeah, I think it's because there's also projects and stuff on, and you don't have much time to also do, so you have to balance stuff as well. And I don't know, it might have been yesterday. Guild, like, am I really good at managing? I think I'm good at managing my time. I was just thinking I was better at managing my time.
I would, it becomes complicated once you actually have a young child. You have to then bring in a bit of your time. You then have to city of from, I guess, basically all of also be providers for our family. At the same time, you're trying to blessings of work that God is. Also, you have to monitor constant attention is all. Then, in perspective, you also for your wife's well-being and how that can the two of you. I think it just told everything as far as steward and my manager's perspective as God. You also have to add in, I have other people vying for priority because they are a blessing that God has given me as well to lead a house. So
Well,
yeah,
he's also as well.
Yeah.
King of stewarding. Andrew's just woke. He's got a ghost now, but that's something that's interesting. You get into being married. You think that maybe this whole when you're married, it'll be twice as steward my time,
Directly.
but exponential. Like it gets way more complicated. We nurse, right?
Yeah.
And I used to think that like when she works at night. It's not I figured out. It won't be that big of a deal. We gotten married. It's just how just being married to another person make your decisions about your time and everything complicated.
Mm-hmm.
You had to think about now, or
Yeah.
do I feel tired? Feel whatever. Do it. But now I have to consider, if, my wife has needs. Be free for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, would she be doing that?
Right.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Like this is something graciously let us.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes
yeah,
she's always been great. So I'm very thankful for that. And also prioritizing time for things, and so I'm learning also to have some fun things that
Yeah.
don't necessarily.
yeah,
And that's difficult. That's part of managing time, sacrificing, especially for a wife. Eventually, it'll increase exponentially difficult.
yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Also, a home like with projects. Hey,
I
I
just-
need if I want a amount of time.
yeah, yeah,
Or if I want to mow the lawn's done, prioritizing time with that, and also specific,
Yeah.
and trying to, especially when I'm an access kind of guy too. It's difficult, but prioritizing other people's time and different to what serves them really.
To God would use it, and something that used the fact just yesterday we're considered. Am I a good manager of my time? Manager of my time that were going through your head that were, like what's
I don't
going.
know. We're coming from the bridge. We're allowed to go, and
Yeah.
to do every Thursday. My wife was in the guard, gone.
Yeah,
So it's like I kind of have all day to
Yeah.
spend. So thinking through, am I doing that time done around the house that also don't need done right? Also prioritizing times like, hey, what our family to do? Am I putting, or am I just because it doesn't fit in my schedule? My schedule is.
yeah. That's something that I've had because when I was single, I was not in the healthiest. I was obscene books and all that stuff. Blessing now didn't have otherwise gotten me through. But I was working in this mindset that to be a good steward of my time must every waking minute be directly godly
Towards something.
Yeah,
Time, energy, and
yeah. There casual. There was no enjoying. There was just if there was margin, you listen to a sermon, read a book, get better. There's a million things, and our time to move to because I think most of us in America live in a culture that has a lot. Well, most cultures, but stuff that still makes us busy.
just feel like we're busy.
Yeah, it makes us. A lot of us aren't good stewards, and let our calendars that may be good or the sum of a million lists, not able.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't value it the same. Like being in the church and building relationships. Be selfish with my time. I thought my time by like always study pairing, always. What I realized is a lot of that use for my time is not myself, but also on like of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Using my time to serve, I have to serve another, especially those in the local church. We look at ourselves. My time is not only my talents, aren't only the skills. Whether that is for Andrew, it's the ability to help me figure out how for other people it's how to dumb or it's how to fix a car or whatever.
Bugs.
Yeah, like whatever the skill is, right?
Yeah.
Different things that we can do. We have to be willing to look at our abilities and be like sacrifice. Just like I woke about money a lot recently to serve someone, willing to give to serve other people.
Advice with that, like just finite, but at the same time, you could find ways to make more. Time is all game,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen people very and serving in ways that free with it. Hey, you know what? And that's not being great. How to do that better? To get this done, this person needs her greeting because for each other and for because that's what God's called that. Like people like, hey, I need help minutes.
Yeah.
Or cool. Or I can't do it today. This day available. Whenever you're free.
That reminded me of a lesson that I learned. Learning is like, well, as we talked about, or anybody else with your time. That's point Paul says as
Yeah.
much.
It's cool.
Yeah. You do accept responsibility is to
Good.
you
Respect.
should.
And
I would
I'm not
say-
great at it either. I'm learning.
I was
Yeah,
100%. I'm still
I would
learning.
say-
When married, some of the unhealthy when I was single, I was going to be reading. I'm always going to be learning. I'm always going to be growing. How can you not read 20 books a year?
Wait till you have kids.
I know, I lived with. And I thought I had got it. I still realized that I kind of like Rachel to things. Like
the same-
those expectations, as if a full Christ follower is really being in your time to study and to grow. And what I've had to learn, one, growth happens in a lot. It happens relation intellectually. Directions.
Mhm.
And time to invest, the growth happens.
Well-
Action is to study more. It is not a waste of time. Other directions.
Well, this kind of Jesus, you have Mary and Martin doing that person
Mhm.
just sitting in the better things, and I think it's to serve. The other time, the better.
Be
Sit.
with.
I mean, at one point, like I don't know, you are serving, you're doing good thing. Someone else is doing.
Yeah.
It's just not. We work, especially at times like well, I could get this and this. That's me speaking from
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
through all that's a family, and when it's like to read it all or something like that, and sometimes I get frustrated by it. I want to try to let my or me sleep.
Sounded like
sweep
you
more
almost said
too.
sweep. I want to
Sweeping
wake
is
up
good
early
too.
somewhere. Gosh darn it.
But I
Clear.
meant
That's not what Jerry.
Oh.
The opposite of the point.
I was saying.
Yeah.
but learning in different seasons, say, you know, this might not be an intellectual season.
Mm.
Me and I know stuff for you. Sometimes it's gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna if I allow a relation.
It's really tough for me. Primarily quantify health and relationship progress. I quantify progress, intellectual, whatever. Yeah,
done.
like look, I read this in the Bible.
I've been to church this many times.
Using your time, you have to protect. God says are important. It includes the fellowship of the. That includes the time. I need to do better at that. Rachel and her current nurse overnights to do better. I was even protecting our relationship.
Yeah.
Not that we're in a, but it was just kind of like a peek down the road when I was kind of like, I need to our relationship. See, when like her schedule versus mine with, bro, like a week where we actually are like a amount of time. We have like one 6 hour good week.
Yeah.
Weeks we have more and on me, and I was looking at a lot. Okay, there's jobs, this or that. I can also just be more where we are now. And I think we need to look at our time as something that, one, primarily to be service to others. I think that's what a good steward is that we see a resource that is primary to us to be shared service ultimately. And
So
yeah,
the barometer of MIB, our last episode. Can we sit there and
Mm.
or even over let's of the average? Do I have more pluses or are we zero positive?
yeah.
And sanctification by his. I wasn't great this week, but hope tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To see I'm getting better and encouraged,
And I would say this: first ministry is, and
especially men to watch the sons and daughters.
do not, if you're a husband, or do not count it as loss. You are things that maybe seem for the sake of your there, dreams. Maybe there's times, there's seasons, but God has given you kids, and you are the bulk of your time, Christ. And you a.m. when you're tired, they're crying, and you get them out of bed. When you're wired because she's been up with the kid, you're trying to show her Christ. Your ministry is, and it's hard for me sometimes to. I think that, but there's still also times want to be ministry is so we have reaching inward, but also like helping and stuff to like be one that
encourage like right now through difficult times. So encourage, like I want to be on the worship team or whatever. Encourage my wife more to need to. I'm gonna
serve in ways the wife has
something
to watch
won't
your
get
kid.
done, like laundry or something. Somewhat trivial but necessary.
It's always
right, or like we can't save more this month, so
Yeah.
it's another goal. And that's difficult to do. That's a whole, and that's what you're teaching, which I am not perfect. Or our family can test.
Yeah.
Is there a way you can be serving or say, let's pray about this if we can give them?
Yeah.
We don't need to right now. We can train our family or even teach our families to be by enabling them to give some of them without.
Yeah, that what you just need the prime grow their ministry. Your wife thinking, I really want to live in ministry. What if you guys have kids with your kid and stuff? Because she's ministering to your kid. Yeah, because it is soul and your wife. Beyond thinking, I wish my kids. I wish we collect. You're serving others, then enabled by serving them to other people. I think it much more of, hey, speaking to my wife, but I don't necessarily alongside her for her to deal with that. And like it's much easier for me to just be looks at her and says,
Get in the
go
game.
and do it, get in the
Number.
Sometimes people need,
Yeah.
but at the use like, hey, because she's really sensitive in a very untraditional way, and she definitely she's like service things that she wants to do. I need to be better to do this. I'm not only going to help you, but I'm also going to like, don't worry, or, whatever, fill in the blank things because I have to recognize that it's going to take up her time. I have to be selfless enough, give of myself and my own time, give that directly to other people, wife, so that she can give to.
Difficult. And that's something also like I did.
Yeah.
Learning to do that and also not trying to act doing it.
Mhm.
Like, hey, I'm going to do this with joyfulness, bitterness, or this didn't get done. Easily fall into, but say, no, the joy my wife has in this. And Christ will have in this because doing it.
Yeah.
Wants to do it. And that's like you said, two people or three and serving a local church. Local church is much bigger than your and you every need, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like she brought up buying it for it off. Like, yeah, like no, we don't. The next day I talked to her about it. We did this. I for this person. And I'm like, oh,
specific person in
right,
your life
who we-
that could be helped in a specific way.
a year now, and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's like this is
And
close
now
to
it
both
comes
of
up
us.
as a
like I thought. I was like early in the day, figured it out, and I'm like, look,
surprise,
she's-
surprise. You're often a couple.
about it. I'm like, wow, like if you had this, that's why I brought it
She's
up.
like, yeah, dumbbell.
well, I'm an idiot.
She's like,
Damn it.
that's what I said.
And she's like, well, I didn't. And she said like what I wanted
Yeah.
or why. I'm like-
Gracious.
and I'm like, intense.
Yeah, you would have
So
told
money,
you so.
just get whatever. We'll figure it out. But they're trying more to do that. And I don't do it perfect. I'm talking about stewarding, managing, and it's also enabling other people to serve.
Yeah.
And serving their to be yours, and you.
Because
And-
you, husband, your goal is serve, but your goal is also I hate this word kind of because right, like but
It's
like
just a weird word.
of it of like growing, like
Yeah.
that's what flourishing is. Growing healthy.
Well,
we're calling as a husband
and-
your kids grow, and part of that is that they can learn what disciple makers
And
and
going
serve.
about stewarding time, the last episode, it's like I wish people could come over, and my wife. It just like
Yeah.
with both having gym fit into what I thought. It's like,
And Jeremy is the,
the
sole
freezer
bro-
didn't.
But the freezer didn't.
and enabling her to sit there and also saying that priority was general family. It's what we had agreed to, and
courage.
right. I didn't put two and two together, and I don't know so necessarily, but allow the time to do it, and also still to do what is and building up of our serve more,
Yeah.
building up in each other to encourage more, and realizing time from ourselves, all the while being very cutting our relationship, which
Yeah.
I'm not.
Brings up. I think that when you want to talk about, look at your things that I'm actually going, and can I honestly say proud of where that goes? Not all of the stuff you love or gonna be directly spiritual, physical. So stuff they might not be directly. So you leveraging them in a way as his kingdom. Some of you like look at your calendar and you're like, my time. I think a lot of in particular need to look at it. Need a job. This yes,
even
it pays the bills and it's so demanding. Like specifically that talked. My job is good, but it is pretty demanding. It's a good time with my family. Why isn't my family following to your time?
Well,
Something that's not
and
discipleship.
Part of that.
Yes.
You actually time to come home to be like, it's part of that, and also I just need like another that stressful.
Yeah.
So
So
like the day or rest and relax before you can jump to the
be cognizant of how that. Yeah. But think about it. Maybe look at the things that need to change. Kids' schedules, kids score whatever they're playing sports. All the schedules affect. You care about being together, being in discipleship. We don't look. Life is going to look different. The principle of our life should be God. I'm proud of, because it's the one fundable resources of, and with our talent. Look at the skills God has given. How can I use this? If I know how to do repairs and somebody in my church, I want to be the first one to say it. Things like that. If our wives have to enable them to be able to use, wives are probably more skilled than we in this room. Myself, she's got more to offer them. I think also great that Andrew hasn't been on this podcast.
Hey, Andrew, what do you think? Oh, way to take care of your kid.
Yeah, it's more
Way
important
to-
for him than it is to be on this
Yep.
podcast.
Way-
Fantastic. You probably won't listen.
Especially this late in the episode. This is the
Exactly.
now he's not going to, and he's gonna go good
Well,
slap on the back.
'Cause he probably had smarter,
Yeah,
but
probably a lot more to that. He's better.
he's a smart guy.
Have any
it's,
recos? No, go ahead. I'll take a long way. Everything.
Band that both Jeremy and I like, and I might like it a little bit more. Do you know where I'm going with this, Jeremy?
No.
He has a new album out. Summer is technically like a his name
He's
is
so
Bryce.
good.
I've
He's
never
good.
seen him live. You? I never seen him.
Who won? Did
Me.
one of you guys won?
Me. But
Ann Arbor.
incredible. You went to a bar. Went to a bar. Everybody stop. Music, and he got a Coke. It's no, the Rocket Summer is a band. Describe his music, rock-ish. I respect anybody that can play does. And Sweet for now. I think it's something like that. It's
Is it like the last one?
never return to interesting G-pop
Rose. I
rock.
think was his favorite
Yeah,
one.
that one.
Angels.
Yeah, Men and
Yes,
Angels.
before that was
Bryce
good.
Bryce Avery's the band, and I really like it for me. There you go.
Let's go with that. That sounds like
Serving
a
your
holy one.
wives.
The holy reco.
Thanks for listening to episode of Three Brothers Talking. I think,
Most of the time.
yeah,
Did a great
kind
job.
of a intentional two brothers talking halfway through this one.
We said.
What he said better than what we said in 30 for the course here. We will see you guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Got some cool things planned the rest of the year, but anything under the supplied question, time is closing in on that. So, and please offer our moving that we can actually get innovation projects done. We will see you guys.
This is me opening.
Get that on there.
Sound effect
Isn't
right
that
on
like
the
a
edge of
isn't
that. Then
Probably.
Mine sounded better.
We're trying to get more sponsorships, so we're getting
offense.
into new territory.